The Castle of Otranto, initially published in 1764 by English author Horace Walpole, 1717 to 1797, stands as a pioneering work in the realm of Gothic fiction, heralding the emergence of supernatural elements that would captivate the literary world. Its profound influence echoes through the corridors of 19th-century literature, inspiring luminaries such as Clara Reeve, Mary Shelley, Bram Stoker, Edgar Allan Poe, and Robert Louis Stevenson. Spanning 5 captivating chapters, this novella delves into the enigmatic occurrences within the eponymous castle, where its proprietor resorts to nefarious means to retain control. Walpole masterfully weaves Gothic elements into the narrative fabric, from inexplicable deaths to veiled familial secrets, echoing the anxieties of 18th-century society concerning lineage, patriarchal authority, and the subordinate position of women. Moreover, the narrative exalts medieval history and tradition through its Gothic motifs. At its core, the Castle of Otranto emerges amidst a discourse questioning the purpose of fiction, whether to reflect reality or to embrace the boundless realms of imagination. Initially presented as a translated relic from medieval times, Walpole's revelation of authorship sparked debates, with some dismissing the tale as unrealistic and morally dubious. Central to the narrative's intrigue is an ancient prophecy foretelling the transfer of Otranto's castle and lordship once the rightful owner outgrows its confines. It is this looming prophecy that drives the obsessive and villainous actions of Manfred, the Prince of Otranto, as he clings desperately to his ancestral seat of power. On the day of his intended marriage to the lovely Isabella, Manfred's son Conrad meets a tragic end when a giant suit of armor's helmet inexplicably crushes him, intensifying Manfred's dread of the looming curse. A local peasant reveals that the helmet belongs to a statue of Alfonso the Good, a revelation that Manfred interprets as a damning admission of guilt. Accusing the peasant of treason, Manfred then declares his intention to wed Isabella himself, vowing to divorce his wife Hippolita. Fleeing from Manfred's grasp, Isabella discovers a concealed passage leading to the Church of St. Nicholas, where she finds refuge with the aid of the peasant who has managed to escape. Meanwhile, a portion of the armor's leg mysteriously appears in the castle's gallery, further unsettling Manfred's household. Upon learning of these unsettling developments, Manfred's daughter Matilda fears being forced into an unwanted marriage by her father. Following her mother's guidance to venerate Alfonso the Good, Matilda resolves to seek sanctuary in a convent. Manfred's attempts to retrieve Isabella from the church are thwarted by the steadfast refusal of Father Jerome, the local priest. As events unfold, it becomes apparent that Isabella may harbor romantic feelings for the peasant who rescued her, Theodore, whose resemblance to Alfonso the Good is striking. Manfred, blinded by jealousy and paranoia, condemns Theodore to death. However, during the execution, Father Jerome recognizes a birthmark on Theodore, confirming his identity as his long-lost son. The proceedings are abruptly halted by the arrival of a herald from Frederick, Isabella's father, demanding her safe return. Seeking to ease tensions, Manfred hosts a lavish feast to persuade Frederick to consent to Isabella's marriage to him. Meanwhile, Isabella disappears, prompting both Frederick and Manfred to search for her separately. In the midst of these tumultuous events, Matilda takes a bold step to release Theodore from captivity and finds herself drawn to him in a blossoming romance. She dispatches him to locate Isabella, and he manages to intercept her before Frederick's retinue. A skirmish erupts, resulting in the injury of one of the knights, who is later revealed to be none other than Frederick himself. Returning to Castle Otranto, the group shares their respective tales, Frederick's return from the Crusades spurred by a prophetic dream warning of Isabella's peril, and Theodore recounting his childhood abduction by pirates and fruitless quest to find his father. Hippolita proposes a union between Frederick and Matilda to safeguard the castle's lineage. Learning of Manfred's designs, Isabella discloses his intentions, prompting Hippolita to consent to divorce and seek refuge in the convent under Father Jerome's guidance. Manfred and Frederick orchestrate 2 prospective marriages, Frederick with Matilda and Manfred with Isabella, yet Frederick insists on Hippolyta's and the church's blessing. Although Hippolyta gives her approval, Manfred resorts to underhanded means by bribing a servant to spy on Isabella. His scheme is thwarted by the appearance of a colossal armored hand, leading Frederick to call off the weddings upon discovering the treachery. Confronted by a ghostly apparition, Frederick is admonished for prioritizing his desires over his daughter's safety. Suspecting Isabella and Theodore of clandestine wedding plans, Manfred impulsively attacks, only to realize he has fatally wounded his own daughter, Matilda. Overwhelmed by grief, Manfred attempts suicide but is restrained by his attendants. Matilda's demise triggers seismic tremors, and Castle Otranto begins to crumble. In a spectral manifestation, Alfonso the Good declares Theodore the rightful heir. Father Jerome reveals Theodore's mother's rightful claim to the castle, prompting Manfred to renounce his worldly pursuits and embrace monastic life. Theodore marries Matilda, assuming his rightful place as ruler. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.